I'm Primo Piggy. Thank you for joining us for another in our slave training podcast series. Today, we're talking more about controlling the slave's body. You can teach the slave to reach orgasm without being touched by just obeying your commands. This, for many, takes time to accomplish. Uh, this following example deals with a male master and a female slave. But really, these techniques can be utilized for anyone of any gender. Just take what we're talking about and apply it to your dynamic and the genders of whoever is involved. Teaching her to spread her legs automatically at some signal you give her is another tool. For example, if you touch her between her legs, she should automatically spread her legs wide the instant she feels this touch, no matter where she is or what time it is. Practice is necessary to ingrain this automatic response. In time, the touch will fire a signal to her mind to spread wide for you. Setting a rule that she must wear a dress or skirt with no panties when you're in public shows her that her cunt must always be available for use at all times. By not allowing her to sit on her dress while riding in a car, you reinforce that she must make her cunt easy to reach. A slave should be available for use, and not allowing her to wear underwear reinforces it. Another common step taken by masters involves not allowing her to play with her cunt or nipples unless you give her instructions to do so. You own her sexual being and control its use. Control of the slave's body, both sexes included, also includes controlling them. Control things like their dress code, the drugs or medication that they take, or sometimes it's requiring them to take their medication. Uh, Good nutrition, exercise, recreation, and privacy. And privacy includes three areas: privacy of the body, secrets, and transparency of thoughts. Privacy of the body. Let's talk about this first. A slave has no place of seclusion from the dominant and is always subject to the dominant's observation. Any retreat or solitude a slave is granted is a privilege given by the dominant. Nothing is allowed to be withheld or kept private from the dominant. The slave no longer owns his or her privacy and is allowed no private space without his or her master's or dominant's permission. This includes use of the bathroom, telephone conversations, work, or sleep. Slave must learn that its days and nights are owned by the dominant. Forcing a slave uh, Forcing slave training in the nude and requiring them to open its body for inspection are also good techniques for lack of privacy training. Have a predetermined command you can give the slave that will place it in a position or positions to have its body inspected. We did a previous slave training podcast on body positions, and we'll probably revisit that and edit it because it was rather long. We'll edit it for a future podcast episode. So stay tuned for that, and we'll work on that as we go through this series. So you do it often early in the training to instill in your slave that they will maintain the body as you wish. In addition, forcing the slave to leave the bathroom door open at all times shows that nothing is private from the master. Oftentimes, things like toilet seats are not allowed to be used because those are privileges, and they also help reinforce the slavery, the consensual slavery. Forcing a lack of physical privacy also adds to a feeling of a lack of emotional privacy. This adds to the slave feeling of being owned. Now, privacy is more than just the slave's body. We also don't allow the slave to keep secrets. This can include computer passwords, reviewing the mail after the slave opens it, knowledge of the finances, including the income, the expenses, and personal debts, and private personal items. If you wish, it can include the forwarding of copies of email exchanges or chat room discussions or instant messages discussions to you. Speaking the truth, no privacy, uh, transparency of thoughts. One of the concepts of slavery is transparency. This is openness related to its thoughts and emotions. Its behavior is directly related to thoughts and emotions, so it's important that the slave is transparent and can communicate its thoughts and emotions to you. It's essential that the information is available to the dominant. Exploring the slave's core beliefs and feelings should be done when resistance to change occurs. A very effective training tool is asking your slave the following question: what are you thinking right now? So, we just wanted to give you a quick little morsel right there. We didn't want to go into a whole bunch in this podcast. We're trying to, really, this is where the rubber meets the road, but we also do not want to overwhelm you with too much. We just wanted to give you a lot of meat, and there was a lot of meat in this, and so this is things for you as a dominant or a master to consider implementing in your slave training process. And it's also, if you're a slave, these may be some things that you want to explore and think about. Or sorry, if you're a submissive and you're considering consensual slavery, these are some things you may want to chew on and think about before you jump into the process. I'm Primal Piggy. Thank you for joining me for this BDSM United podcast. The easiest way to reach us and get all of our podcasts and all of our resources is at www.bdsmunited.com. If you're listening on your favorite platform, we ask that you leave a review, a like, a subscribe, a thumbs up if you're on Pandora. We could really use more reviews on Apple Podcasts. Those kinds of things help you connect with us because we read them. And it also helps other adults connect with these BDSM educational resources. It's important because when adults are educated, it really helps make our entire BDSM community better. And thank you for playing your part in that. I enjoyed talking with you today, and I'll talk to you again soon.